Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. This is another part of my Christmas in July series. We're going to be making a basic paper bag book. This can be a photo album, it can be a journal, it could be a little Christmas themed book, whatever you want to make of it. And I'm going to be using 6x6 pattern cardstock. This is Joyful Christmas from Paper Wishes Hot Off the Press, and it's the sweetest little collection, oops, the wrong side, of little plaids. Okay, so cute. And I really like that this week because it kind of gives us a neutral background. There's not a lot of theming to this, and we're going to bring those in with using some little ephemera pieces. Okay, I already showed you that one. Let's see, did I get them all? Yeah, so there's a whole stack here, which is going to be great. And then you guys, I'm using white paper bags. Now these white paper bags are little gift sacks from Hobby Lobby, and they measure 10 inches tall by 5 inches wide. I like to use these because the size of them, because they're like a gift sack instead of like a lunch sack, their sizing is more accurate, okay? And now you can do this same craft. You could use 12 by 12 paper, and you could use larger bags. There's not a lot of measuring going on. We're going to do some for the base, and then the rest is pretty much repeated. We have so many new paper crafters that have joined us, so this is a really basic album. We're just going to put some twists on it. So if you're a veteran paper crafter, you're going to go, oh, I've seen that one before. You absolutely have. So we're going to try to jazz it up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is as I said, I got these at Hobby Lobby. I'll put the link down below. If you're looking in the store, these are in the gift wrapping section, like the party gift wrapping thing. You're not going to find them in the craft section, oddly. So they come in all different colors. I love the craft color ones, and they also have a beautiful red one too. We're going to be using the white. And I'm not sure how many we're going to be using yet. They come in a pack of 12. So the first thing we're going to be doing is taking this 5-inch wide bag, and we're going to be turning it into a square, okay? And adding a little secret pocket to it as well. Now, as I said, you could do this with really any size bag. You just want to take the width of the bag, and then you're just turning the top of it into the same dimension, okay? So this is going to be a 5 by 5 square for each page. So how I'm going to do that is because it's 10 inches long, it's too wide, it's too long. So we're going to cut this down to 8.5 inches. Okay. So now I'm going to write these down. Okay. Grab my pen. All right, so bag is now 5 inches wide by 8.5 inches. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the top of this, and we're going to bend this down, and we're going to tuck it back, and this piece is going to eventually be a pocket. But before we do that, we're not going to be using these side gussets, this part of the bag, so we're just going to glue those down. And you'll notice I'm using a liquid glue, my preference. You could use whatever adhesive you like. I also don't like to get too close to the edge with my glue because the liquid glue does spread out, and we don't want it squeezing out. These bags too are glossy white, so they're kind of squeaky. All right, so we're going to do that. Now we're going to take, I like to just take my ruler, okay? So I'm going to 5 inches, and I'm just going to fold this like this. Just fold it until it meets that 5-inch requirement. Here we go. And then just take a bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, use the back of a butter knife. And then we're going to lift this up, and we're just going to put a little length of glue right there to keep that tacked down. Now, once we have that done, I'm just going to go around the whole thing. I guess I don't need to do the bottom. All right, so that's all set. Now I've already done 4 more of those, so we have a total of 5. Not sure if we're going to use all 5, okay, but I've done 5. All right, so now we get to do the fun part of covering it with paper. So I'm thinking that this one, this red, would look really, really sweet. Now this is going to be our front cover. So on one side, we're going to turn this into a pocket in a little bit. There's this side is going to be cute little pocket, and then we have this side that could be the front cover. And when we're going to put them together, they can go pocket to pocket, or they can go, this could be the cover, and that could be the pocket. I mean, you can put the pages in any way you want, but the binding is going to go on the right, all right? Now here's something else that's neat about this. We glued those gussets together, but we didn't glue the fold over on the sides. So we have a little pocket right there. All right, so we have a pocket here and we have a pocket here, and we're definitely going to be doing something with both of those. All right, so we can do like this on the front. That's super cute. I love that. This one is also cute. We can do some layering on them. Right now, I just want to get everything covered with paper. So I'm going to cut down some paper so that I can put some right here. And I want to leave a little bit of a white border around the edge, which would be so cute. And then we're going to take another coordinating paper, maybe like this green one, and put that right there. All right, so we're going to make the most out of our 6x6 paper. When I trim this part down, I'll have a nice big strip left. I can use it as a border right here. So there's lots of things we can do that with that. So I am going to cut down some paper, and then I'll give you the measurements. All right, I figured out what I'm going to do with my papers and cutting it down. So I'm going to start with these 3 papers. All right, and remember, they are double-sided. So we're going to start with, I think, this one kind of back here, this one on the pocket, and then this one or this one over here. So how we're going to cut this down, I'm going to turn my paper cutter over so you can see better. So we're going to start with covering this one first. So we need a back piece to go here, and then we need a front piece to go on the front of the pocket. Now here's a little trick to save paper. These 2 pieces can be the same measurements because this is going to get glued shut. We don't need to glue all the way down to the bottom here. No one's going to see that. So this is 5 inches wide, and I want it to have a little bit of a white border. So I'm going to cut it down to 4 3/4 of an inch wide. So here we go. 4 3/4 of an inch. Ooh. I need a new blade. All right, so that's 4 3/4 of an inch. Now I want to measure how tall I want it. So I already know I wanted it 2 3/4 of an inch. And don't worry, I've got this all written down for you guys. All right. This one is a 2 3/4. So this one I can put right there. That's super cute. Now, if I turn this one over, I have that really cute paper on this side. I like that. All right, so I'm going to cut this one down to 2 3/4 of an inch as well. Oops. Let's try to measure better, Lynne. There we go. 2 3/4. And then you'll notice when I'm all done doing that, I have a little strip left over. That's just a little 1/2 inch wide by 4 3/4 of an inch strip. And that one's going to go right there. Okay. And then this one, we could do something like this. Okay. Or we could switch it out with another one that I had from another page, and I could switch the color out. So we'll see what we're going to do with that. But for now we're going to do this facing page. And for this one, we're doing 4 3/4. We're going to do a square. Okay, going to save that little piece for tags and things. 4 3/4. save this one as well. Okay, so now that one can go there. Now, as I said, I still have cute little strip right here left over from this one. I can just cut this down to a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do that. Don't need that anymore. And that one can go right there. So we've got some little coordination going on here, right? All right, so now we're going to glue these down. Before we do, here's our measurements. So for this pocket, these pockets, they're 4 3/4 of an inch wide and 2 3/4 of an inch tall. And there's 2 of them, all right? And then this one right here, this is just a little 1/2 inch wide scrap by 4 3/4. Then for the full page, it's 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. That's it. And you're just going to be doing that over and over and over again throughout the book. So it makes it very simple, okay? So now we're going to take this one. We're going to put glue here, and then I just like to put some across the center. We're going to open this up, and we're going to center that so it has a cute little white border going all the way around the edges. And then this one right here, and notice I'm using, you know, the opposite patterns because I want some contrast here. If you made this all out of the same pattern, it would just take away the contrast, and I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be as cute. I don't know, you could try it. All right, now we have that little pocket. Remember, we're going to glue just on the sides. There we go. And then this one, I'm going to wait on that for just a minute. We're going to go to this one. Okay. All right, so that is how I'm covering all of the pages. And I've gone ahead and done all of the rest of these. So we'll do a little flip through. But before we do, here's a little trick for when you're covering your border. You're adding your border. If you want your border to be at the same place when you're flipping through it and you don't want to measure each time, just align it with the one behind it. All right, and you're just gonna do this. Okay, now it's in the same place as you flip through it. All right, that one is cute, huh? So let's start from the beginning. This is going to be my front cover. So this one is the 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 inch. And we're going to open that up. We have the little pocket. Remember, this one was done by 4 3/4 by 2 3/4 tall, and you did that 2 times with the little scrap border. Okay, this one right here is still that same square, but I took another scrap that I had and I put it right there. And you guys, it makes a cute little tuck spot. Or if I want to glue a photo over the top of it, it's just a border. Okay, we have the same pocket here. I'm going to leave this page full. Notice we have some coordination going on here, and I just used 2 of the patterns. We've got this beautiful little like pink with the red on it, and it's got that blue, and then this is the blue. So I'm letting the paper pack do the work for me, okay? Somebody, some graphic designer spent a lot of time coordinating these papers. Just let them do that. All right, so we've got this one. This one I wanted to mix it up just a little bit. I've got that on the wrong page. This one has got the tan and the red and the brown, and then I used some of the brown from over here. Okay, the red pocket. Now, we're at the end of the book. We have this one right here. So I don't want to have a pocket on the back of my book. Maybe you do, that's fine. So I'm going to just kind of do a little trick here, and I'm going to put it like this. So this is now the back, and this one I'm going to go ahead and do another pocket. You could do the double pocket page anywhere in the book that you wanted. So as long as you're ending with a full page and beginning with a full page, that works. So I'm going to finish that one, And then we're going to get to decorating it. As soon as I turned the camera off, I realized I forgot something rather important, and that is the binding. We need to do the binding. I'm using little binder clips. These are binder rings. These are found in, I can get these on Amazon. These are 1 1/4 inch wide. I got these at the thrift store over in the office supply section. So never forget to check those out. You could use ones that are up to like 1 1/2 inches wide. You don't want to go smaller because this is large, I usually use 1-inch rings on a lot of my books, but this is going to be quite thick. And you don't want to do really large ones like 2-inch rings. They would allow too much play in the pages, and then they just kind of move around when you're trying to flip through them. So you want something that's just the right size. So I'm started punching here, and how I like to do this is I just start on the front page and I measure 1 time, and that's about 1 1/8, 1 1/4 inch from the side, like that. And that's about 1 1/4. And then I just do about 1/4 inch from the edge. So once I have those punched, then I use those as my little template. So I just line the next one up, and I just take a pencil, so it's not going to show, and I just make a dot. Okay. And now I know where to punch. Let's talk about punches. This is a 1/8 inch punch, and I also have these listed at my Amazon store. You can find these also. Tons of these at the thrift store, you guys. Pick these up because the 1/8 inch punch is a little less common than the 1/4 inch punch. The 1/4 inch punch has too much surface area, and it's hard to punch through thick paper. Now, we've got a lot of paper going on here, and these bags are thick. Thick, thick, thick. So this is really hard. Like, that's too hard. So I'm having to use my special little crocodile punch here. If you're a beginner and you don't have a crocodile punch, another funny thing that you can use, if you have a hammer and you have a nail, okay, and maybe something like a piece of wood or something like that, you can just go out and you can like hammer a sort of a thick nail through that paper, and then make sure it has wood underneath. Don't do it on your furniture. Don't do it on your cutting board, which is what I did one time. My husband was not pleased. And then use the hammer to pull it out. So you can absolutely do this if you're a beginner, if you don't have special tools for this. Before I had this little tool, I absolutely did that. All right, so these holes are going to align. That's really important. If they don't align, your pages are going to kind of go like that. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these, and then what we're going to do is put them together just like this, and then we're going to tie some cute little ribbon on those just to decorate them. I'll be right back. So I've added some ribbon to the little binding rings, and I just like to take ribbon that's 3 to 4 inches long, loop it through here, and then just tie that in a double or overhand knot, I guess you would say. You can trim those tails, but I like to trim them at an angle so they don't come unraveled. There we go. And then here you can see I've got my little ephemera embellishment, some red glitter cardstock, and then some of that green plaid paper. And I am using, this is 49 in Market Christmas Spectacular, but it's from 2023. Okay, this is what I had on hand. If they are still available, I will link this down below in the video in the supply list. But if not, they're pretty basic shapes. We'll take a flip through and you can see what I did. All right, so let's open this up. So in our little pockets right here, I've got these little tags. Now this fits a tag that is about just under 3.5 inches tall. Okay, because it's a little shallow pocket. Then we've got our little tuck spots right here. And for this, I just took some white cardstock and used the scraps that we had left over from cutting down our paper. Remember all those? Okay, and I just use that right there, and sometimes it was a strip this big, and then I just extended that with a little strip across the bottom. This of course is one of the ephemera pieces, and then I just stapled. After cutting down all that ribbon, I had little small ends left, and I took my, hey you guys, my new thrifted little stapler. It's so cute. I love the size. I love the color. It matches my little craft room really nicely. And I just found this when I was thrifting in an estate sale. You bet I grabbed that. It was $2. So yeah, it fits standard staples. And then that's just that little tuck spot that we made. It goes right in there. And then remember, we have those little side pockets. Okay, perfect for little journaling, photos. Okay, another little ephemera bit right here. And then I took one of those little strips I had left over, and I decided to make another tuck spot, but glue it at the center. Okay, so it's just like that. And then more little tags right here. You can actually get a lot in those little slots. And I like to have them stick out tiny bit, so if you're giving this as a gift, they're like, oh, what's that? And they're pulling it. It's not hidden too much. We're going to do something with this pocket in a minute. This one I like to make little layered tags. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I love my 3-in-1 tag punch, and this works so nicely. So it's got 3 sizes, 1.5, 2, and 2.5 inches for your tags. So I've got these that I've already done out of gold glitter cardstock and red glitter cardstock, and then this adorable little heart vellum paper, which is so sweet. I'll link all of these things down below the video. And then I just like to layer them like this. Then I've got this little strip right here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I got this one. I have so many little strips on my paper, on my desk. Okay, this is a 1.5 inch little strip I have left. So let's see if it'll work. Yep, worked great. And then you can just tear these too, just like that. And then you can just put them at an angle, tie them with a little bit of twine, and then just tuck them, or I like to have them so that they kind of hang over like that. All right, so this one, let's see, how do we do that one? Maybe we'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. I'm working this out as I go, so sometimes I change my mind. All right, so I want to make sure that these hang over a little bit. There we go. Okay, another little tag right there. Also, you guys, this is a great spot to add your little photos that I encourage you to share. We all have these little tiny little photos of aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas, and you can digitally share them by just taking a picture of it with your your digital camera, your phone, and then texting it or emailing it to somebody. But what to do with these physical photos? Don't forget, the younger generations love this stuff, and at least I do, and they love to be gifted those kinds of things. So here's another little tag. This one is 3 inches by 3 inches, and I just cut the notches off, put a little star there, so it's a nice little spot for journaling on the back. All right, so what are we going to do with this spot? You don't have to always use this as a pocket. You could just glue it shut, okay? And then you could put something over that. So I wanted to show you, here's some of the tan paper. It's 6 inches wide, okay? And I cut it to 4 inches tall. And then literally I just went like this. I didn't fold it. And then I just trimmed off the corners to make that sort of tag shape. And then you guys, I scored it on both sides to make it like this, and I scored it at just about 1.5 inches. All right, and now we can take one of those little layering tags, put it there, and we can actually glue that there and have a little presentation, but we need a closure on that. So I've got these little pieces, happy and bright, or bright and happy, and I've got some foam tape. And we're gonna make a little closure using both of those. So what I like to do is just take my foam tape and cut it down. Maybe you guys already have yours cut down, but let's see. And we're gonna put that just like this Oops, come on. This piece is a little bigger than I want. And okay, we're going to put that just like this, and then like this, and just about any kind of ephemera will work as long as it's maybe circular. Okay, so this is about 6 inches long. I've knotted the end. It's a little bit of brown baker's twine. And I'm just going to put some glue. Ah, that happened to me last week too. Glue on the end, and then we're just going to tuck that right under there. Okay, we're going to wrap that around. Ugh. All right, so when that dries, you guys, how cute, I'll wrap it around once more, how cute to just do that. Okay, it'll wrap a little better when it's dry. And then we can glue that right in there, and then when somebody's getting that, they open it up, and how cute is that? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue this one in. I am gonna have to let it dry though. And as I said, you could use that as a pocket, or you could just do something else with it. All right, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. All right, you guys, that is a wrap for this one. So if you remember, I love to give away my projects to my subscriber friends. So all you have to do is like, comment, be a subscriber, and then you're entered in to win. You do have to watch next week's video, okay? And that will have the congratulations, and it will announce with your YouTube username if you're the winner, and you just follow the instructions about emailing me at Lene Creates. It's really helpful if you turn on your notification bell in the top right hand corner. Thanks for joining me. Merry Christmas in July, and come back next week for a new one.